Good morning, students. Hope you are fine and safe with your family members. In last class, we learnt about documentation and its types. A follow-up work and activity is also given based on the topic. I think so. You have done the activity and homework given. In today's class, we are going to learn about another fresh topic in chapter 1, that is inner working of computer. Before we move on to the class, I would like to say a small example based on the topic. In human, there are several body parts like kidney, heart, brain, etc. Without these parts, a human body cannot work. Likewise, in computer, there are several parts working on it. Example, motherboard, power supply, CPU, BIOS, ports and cable. This is not an example. This is the actual parts that is working inside a computer. In today's class, we are going to learn elaborately about the inner working of computer. Before we move on to the class, I would like to ask a small question. That is, have you ever looked inside a computer case or seen pictures of the inside one? Yes, of course, everyone will see that. The small parts may look complicated, but the inside of a computer case isn't really. All will be mysterious. This topic will help you to learn some of the basic terminology and understand a bit about what goes inside a computer. This is about a small introduction about the computer. Let's go deeply. This is the block diagram of the computer. A computer mainly consists of input devices, output devices, and mainly CPU. CPU has several functions, that is control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory unit. Inside a computer, it has mainly motherboard, power supply, BIOS, basic input and output system, CPU, central processing unit, memory unit and ports. First is motherboard. In the world, everyone has mother. Without a mother, a child cannot be born. Likewise, in computer, motherboard plays a important role. The motherboard connects all the parts of the computer together. It is also known as mainboard or system board. It connects many integrated chips which are connected by wires. Most of the chips are soldered, but a few can be replaced in the memory. I represented a diagram of motherboard. Like this only a motherboard looks. Next is power supply. In each and everyone's home, we have power supply, that is current. Without power supply, we cannot survive. Like in computer also, power supply is an important device. In general, a computer needs lots of electric power, that is 250 watts. The power is mainly utilized by CPU and by motors in various drives. The power supply is basically a case that holds transformer, voltage control and fan. It has motherboard connectors with different colored wires each indicating different voltages. I have mentioned a diagram of power supply. Like this only a power supply looks like. Next is BIOS, basic input and output system. It is used to test all the critical components that are working correctly. The main function are as follows. First is post, second is booting. The first and foremost function of BIOS is to make sure that computer hardware is functioning properly and there is no issue with the hardware. Next step is after successful completion of post, the BIOS locates and identifies the operating system. Next is CPU. In 6th standard itself you have learned about CPU. Central Processing Unit controls overall activities of the computer. The CPU consists of control unit, ALU, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit and various temporary buffers. Arithmetic logic unit performs all operations like addition, subtraction, etc. Memory unit saves all data information temporarily. The control unit fetches the information from memory and decode them to produce signals for controlling other parts of computer. Next is memory unit. Memory unit stores the program and the data that are currently being used. In other words, the computer stores program and data in the memory before processing. Memory unit is the amount of data that can be stored in storage unit. Memory unit saves all data information temporarily. The data is measured in units called 0 or 1. We can classify memory unit into two types. One is primary memory and next is secondary memory. It can be expanded externally with the help of compact disc and pen drive. Next we are going to see is ports. Port is an interface on a computer to which a device can be connected. Hardware ports have different shapes such as male, female, round and rectangle in shape. Hardware ports can be divided into two. First is serial port and second is parallel port. First we are going to see about serial port. Serial port is a physical communication interface where information is transferred in or out as one bit at a time. Each bit is sent in series over a single port. The diagram I mentioned is an example of serial port. Like this only a serial port looks like. Next is parallel port. Parallel port is a physical communication interface where information is transferred in parallel. Multiple bits are sent in or out at the same time over serial sets of wires. The diagram I have mentioned is an example of parallel port. Mainly hardware ports are classified into two. One is serial and another is parallel. Don't forget students. Then is cables. In everyone's home we have television. Behind the television we have lots of cable we are watching. In computer also we have several cables. A cable consists of two or more wires or optical fibers bounded together. Each individual wire or fiber inside the jacket may be bare, covered or insulated. The IDE stands for Integrated Drive Electronics, are wide cables used to connect hard drives and floppy disk to the motherboard. It deals with power and data sign interface. I have mentioned two examples of cables. Like this only cables look like. There are several types of cables in computer based on the type. Now let's summarize what we have learned today. In today's class we learned about inner working of computer. How does a computer work inside? Like our body parts. First we saw is motherboard. Motherboard connects all the parts of the computer. It is also called main board or system board. Second is power supply. Power supply is mainly utilized by CPU and by motors in various drives. The power supply basically holds transformer, voltage control and fan. Next is BIOS. Input output system, that is basic input and output system. The main function of BIOS is to post and to booting. To make sure that how the hardware is functioning properly and there is no issue with the hardware. After the completion of post, booting locates, identifies the operating system. Next is CPU, that is Central Processing Unit. It controls overall activities of the computer. It consists of ALU, memory unit and control unit. Control unit controls the functions of all the parts of the computer. It is the main unit in the computer. Arithmetic logic unit performs all logical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Memory unit is used to store temporarily. Next is memory unit. Memory unit saves all data information temporarily. The data is measured in units which is called as bit. A bit has single binary number called 0 or 1. We can classify memory unit into two types, namely primary and secondary. It can be expanded externally with the help of compact disc and pen drives. Next is ports. Port is an interface in which device can be connected. It is classified into two ports. First type is serial port, second type is parallel port. Serial port is a physical communication interface where information is transformed in or out as one bit at a time. Parallel communication as like serial port. It transforms where informations in or out 4 times like parallel. Next is cable. It consists of two or more wires or optical fibers bound together. It deals with power and data sign interface. We learned about motherboard, power supply, BIOS, CPU, memory unit, ports and cable. These are the main parts that is used inside a computer. I have to give a small work based on the class today. Write about CPU, explain the features of motherboard in your rough notebook. I will check it, students. In next class, we can learn about defragmentation and troubleshooting. Thank you, students. See you in next class.